Once again, welcome to the program. Let's begin with the Fate Foundation, which is a non-profit organization with a mission to create entrepreneurs in Nigeria. Find out more. Founded in March 2000 by the founder and pioneer managing director of Guarantee Trust Bank, Fola Adiola, Fate Foundation is a non-profit organization aimed at harnessing the strong entrepreneurial culture of Nigerians by providing the business incubation, growth and accelerator support required to fully explore their innovative potential. Its enterprise development approach involves a mix of enterprise learning, mentoring, growth advisory support, funding linkages, research and policy advocacy, with the overall aim on enabling Nigerian entrepreneurs start, grow and scale their businesses. The Foundation's sustainability model is driven by funding and technical support from local and international partners and enabled by a strong volunteerism strategy, which facilitates the engagement of industry leaders, experienced entrepreneurs and professionals to volunteer their time as facilitators, mentors and advisors to entrepreneurs. To date, Fate Foundation has over 6,000 graduates in its full-time programs, of which 65% of them are still actively running their businesses. With over 180,000 Nigerian youths enabled on the path of entrepreneurship, Fate Foundation is no doubt reducing the unemployment gap in Nigeria. Now let's hear from the Executive Director of Fate Foundation, Adenike Adeyemi, about what the organization has achieved so far. When the Fate Foundation began, what was the objective and the mission of the foundation?
So Fate Foundation began in 2000. It was founded by Mr. Fola Adiola, the founder of GT Bank, and at the time he was the MD CEO of the bank. And for him, he spoke about how they would interview for a limited position and they'll get a lot of students or recent graduates who had done very well in school and who would interview to work at the bank. But then the positions were very few, but the candidates were so much, sometimes in the thousands. And they always wondered if there were other opportunities that could be given to these young Nigerians. And really that was the driver for the founding of Fate Foundation, is to create a platform to promote entrepreneurship as a compelling alternative to employability.
Your main focus is building micro, small and medium enterprises in Nigeria. I mean, a lot of people have talents, but they do not have the platform to grow these talents. How has Fate Foundation been able to help them grow?
Okay, so think of micro, small and medium enterprises as the engine of the country. They create 70% of the jobs that are created. They solve a lot of solutions with their products and services. With an entrepreneur, it usually starts with an idea. And so we have programs that are focused on idea stage, so helping people to think, ideate on their businesses, use a design thinking model and think of taking that idea to developing a product or service prototype. So those programs that we do under the ideation are called pre-incubation programs. And then we now do the ones that are now focused on, now that you've started that business, you've been able to create that product, that service, how do you get your market to know about it? How do you get your market to buy it? How do you create a business structure around it? So the two main programs that we do around that is the Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program, which by the way, we've run since 2000, and we're currently in our 91st stream of that class, and I'm very excited about that. And then the second program that we do is the Orange Corners Incubation Program. So that's the program we do in partnership with the Kingdom of the Netherlands. And we help people who, and it's a 6-month program. So it's an incubation, think of like a fetus or a baby that has to come out of the womb prematurely. So it's helping people incubate their idea to the point where they understand their business, they understand their market, they understand what the regulatory requirements to be able to run and build that business in Nigeria, and also link them with funding to do that. So with the Orange Corners Incubation Program, we have a funding portfolio of between 5,000 euros, sometimes about 20,000 euros, where people are able to build and grow that idea with additional funding support. We launched that last year. With the Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program, we do that across Nigeria. We've been able to reach about 13 states and counting in the last 3 years, and we do that in partnership with different organizations. One of them is Facebook, and with the partnership we have with Facebook, We even detail it to a program called the Aspiring Entrepreneurs Digital, because now the great thing about the way the world is going is that you're not limited by your physical geographies or boundaries. You can sell your products to anywhere, if you're in Lagos, to anywhere across Nigeria, across West Africa, and literally across the world. The second is that when you are building your business, you get to a growth stage. And usually as your business is growing, it evolves in different dynamics. Sometimes you'd have started with products and services, and then you now come across new opportunities, and that's where our Emerging Entrepreneurs Program comes up. Then the last set of programs that we do, which we introduced in 2017, is our Scale Up Lab Accelerator Program. And that looks at high growth potential businesses in line with Nigeria's growth trajectory. So agribusinesses, creatives, health, and education. And we do a 6-month accelerator program where we take in 10 to 20 people per cohort and walk them through, and they're usually from different states in Nigeria, and run them through an intensive 6-month accelerator program that helps them think through their business, understand the value chain that they're in with their focus sector. And we've been privileged to do that with the Africa Capital Alliance Foundation, who has also funded one part of our accelerator for the last 3 years. So essentially our programs, if you ask me what we do at Faith Foundation, I would say we help Nigerian entrepreneurs to start, grow, and scale their businesses.
And are these programs specifically meant for young people?
So that's an interesting question. So our primary focus, yes, is young people, and we started out really ensuring that young people have a viable pathway to be able to create employment for themselves as entrepreneurs. And then also, young people make up a significant percent of Nigeria's population. But what has also happened is that over the years, our young people have also grown. So the person that came to Faith who was between 25 and 35 is now between 45 and 55. Their businesses have also grown, their businesses have also evolved. And so what we've also done, because we also have a very strong alumni support network, is also to ensure that as a person's business grows and evolves and their needs also change, we also have additional programs that support them. So for instance, this year we signed an MOU with the Nigerian Stock Exchange to ensure that our more matured businesses can now also list on the Nigerian Stock Exchange Growth Board. With that, a lot of our young entrepreneurs have married, they've had children. In fact, we have at least 2 of our entrepreneurs whose children have also come through our programs recently with that.
This year has been the most challenging for lots of MSMEs, from the COVID-19 pandemic, the lockdown, even the NSAS protests. It's been quite challenging, if you ask me. And what is the Faith Foundation doing to help cushion the effect of what businesses have suffered in Nigeria?
Honestly, like you said, nobody predicted this year. All of us did not predict this year. And even when we teach our entrepreneurs to prepare for crises or challenges, every scenario we spoke about never thought about this. But one of the things that I'm very proud to say is that every work we've done over the last 20 years really also prepared us to effectively support our businesses at the time. When the pandemic started, there were 2 things that we did immediately. First off, we wanted to know exactly what the effect was on our businesses. Another area of the work that we do is around research, and that research is very important in the way we design programs. So between April, we conducted a COVID-19 impact of MSME survey. In fact, we ended up not just even doing that research with our entrepreneurs, but just opening it up. And we had over 1,940 entrepreneurs across Nigeria that responded to that survey and showed us that over 90% of people had impact of their businesses. There was significant impact on cash flow. That now led us to design what we call the Business Recovery Program, to say, okay, how do we support our entrepreneurs beyond and during the crisis? In March 22nd or 23rd, I believe, we set up the Faith Philanthropy Coalition for COVID-19 support. So Mr. Foladiola seeded the fund, and we reached out to quite a lot of other individuals and partners who ended up donating up to over 377 million into the COVID-19 support fund. And the main objectives of that fund was to capacitate health institutions to be able to support the public health space with that. So we worked, we've so far to date, we've supported health institutions in Lagos, in Ogun State, and also in Abuja. We supported Lagos State University Teaching Hospital to run full-scale public free COVID-19 tests in partnership with Life Bank. We worked with Ogun State to also set up full free COVID-19 testing for the public in partnership with Flying Doctors. And then the one that I really am excited about because of not just the immediate impact, but the larger impact on Nigeria as a whole is the support that the grant we gave to the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research to develop an innovative research for a test kit called the CIMA COVID-19 test kit, which allows people to be able to test the COVID-19 virus. Why is that important? It's an innovation developed by Nigerian researchers. It was led by Dr. Chika, working with the DG, Professor Salako in Naimer, to develop this test that could potentially impact how we test our own populations in Nigeria.
And are you looking at research for other diseases affecting the population in Nigeria?
So yes, a lot of our focus around the philanthropy is looking at public health diseases or public health issues and supporting existing health institutions to be able to get the research to support that and to also expand it in different ways.
20 years of service to humanity. I mean, you've been the CEO of Fate Foundation for almost 6 years now. What's the experience been like for you?
It's a very fulfilling experience. It's fulfilling in so many ways because it's been, when I came to Fate Foundation was a perfect merge for what I call my background in nonprofit work, but also my business mind. So it allows me to do the work in terms of investing in people, investing in lives, but also building business knowledge along the way. So if you think of even what has happened over the last 6 to 7 months, the calls that I've had with a lot of our entrepreneurs was not even just about their business, but the impact that the business closure would have on them not being able to pay salaries and what that will have on their employees not being able to feed their families, pay rent, or pay for education. And also I have a really amazing team who also help to ensure that across the country in all the work that we do, that work continues to yield the kind of results that we do in so many ways.
For any economy to thrive, every government must create a conducive environment for businesses. Do you think the Nigerian government is doing enough, or what do you think should be done to help businesses?
If you ask most of Nigerian businesses what their number one challenge is, they will tell you is doing business environment, that it is tough, it is difficult, and it is very challenging, particularly in times like this. A lot of those challenges have to do with policy and regulatory issues, the number one of which is even taxes. If we are serious about really harnessing the potential of our micro, small, and medium enterprises in Nigeria, we have to make sure that the business environment is easier than it is. It has to be very easier to register a business. I really have to also commend that a lot of the review for the KAMA Act, for instance, is going to significantly help to resolve all of that. Some of the recent things, even around the Finance Act, that also focuses around SMEs, also is going to help that. But those acts and the provisions have to be implemented immediately. Nigerian businesses are responsible for 70% of the jobs that are created, almost 50% of the GDP, so we can't leave them standing. 20
years from now, what's the next level of achievement you hope to see at Fate Foundation?
So for us, the next 20 years is building up on the legacy that we've created. One of the things we launched, because this week is our 20th anniversary week celebration, was we launched a book series. So we launched a handbook series to support Nigerian entrepreneurs to start, grow, and scale their businesses. And this book series has things around strategy, financial, tax management, legal, every critical subject that is important for businesses, for anybody who is starting and building business in Nigeria. And it was developed by Nigerians for Nigerians, so very localized business, the first of its kind. The second is being able to scale our work using technology. and reaching more people that we can't reach in person. So one of the things that we'll be doing will be doing e-learning courses and online courses. So we'll continue to be doing a lot around research and policy advocacy, because no matter the investment we make in our businesses through education, through mentoring, through advisory, through funding linkages, if the environment is not sufficient, the entrepreneurs would only grow to a certain extent. So we see a bright future, we see a great future, and we see us continue to evolve in so many ways, reaching more than the 180,000 entrepreneurs that we've reached, and ensuring that we are able to support entrepreneurs to invest in Nigeria, to build Nigeria, and to create wealth.